Today, 37% of all retail in Manhattan is a chain. And this is amazing when you consider that chains didn't start entering New York City until the mid-90s. Today, there are almost as many Subway restaurants as there are subway stations in New York. Because in every one of these locations, before they moved in, was a small business, was a New Yorker supporting their community, someone not trying to take money out, but just trying to embed themselves, be a part of it. But those people got forced out in huge, huge numbers. It has blocked an entire generation of entrepreneurs from pursuing their dreams because of the size of chains and the forces that are driving them. And as a result, the world is becoming more and more the same. This isn't just happening in commercial real estate, it's also true in music, where every song is written by two Scandinavian men. It's also true in movies, where every movie is an IMAX 3D remake of something you've already seen before. This is a graph of the number of sequels or prequels released each year by Hollywood. You see on the left side of that graph, that's when Hollywood was telling stories. On the right side is when they are reselling stories someone else has already told. It's the reason why Taylor Swift is on the cover of every magazine. Just the world more and more the same. So why? Why is this happening? It's hard to recognize the water we swim in. It's hard to see what surrounds us. But the force driving this is the belief in financial maximization. This means that every time we face a decision point, do we go road A or road B, we choose whichever road will make the most money. But I'm an optimist. I'm an optimist, I really am. And I like to think about what could be possible. What could be possible? And maybe it's not that we're ill-intentioned or the drive of financial maximization is evil or anything like that. Maybe this is just the best we know how to do right now. Maybe we're still on the 1.0 prototype of how a society should be organized. Because the drive to achieve and improve are amazing, amazing qualities in human beings. These are things that we should harness and we should encourage more of. But it might be that we've just picked the wrong goal to focus on. So what can we do about this? What's possible? Well, there are two things I think about. One is investing in understanding new forms of value. So if we wanted to expand value from being just money, making as much money as possible, to something broader, that's going to take time, and that's going to take study, and that's going to take a lot of careful thought. But we have good models we can look to for how that happens. And one example, strangely, is the three-point shot in the NBA. In 1979, the NBA introduced the three-pointer for the first time, which is basically that the farther away you are from the basket, the shot is worth more points. Now, for the first 30 years that the three-pointer existed, it was considered a bad shot. If someone would take a shot, announcers or coaches would yell at a player for being selfish. That's not the way you're supposed to play. It's not how we do things here. And then about 10 years ago, data scientists started looking at the NBA, looking at basketball in a different way. And instead, they looked at a court according to what is the most efficient shot. If we look at every shot that's ever been taken, what are the best shots to take? And what do they find? Other than a dunk, the three-pointer is the best shot on the court. The basketball court, this thing that we've been watching for 30, 40 years, we've been seeing entirely wrong. We thought there was just one way to play, and suddenly we had a new understanding of value that shifted how the game was played. Last year, there were more threes taken in last year alone than in all the 1980s combined. It's the same thing that happened with Moneyball and baseball. When a new understanding of value enters even a very conservative, static world like sports, people will evolve because people want to succeed. They want to succeed. They want to win. They want to do well. And if a better way emerges, people will follow. Yes, there will be resistance at the start, but that's a transition people are happy to make. We make it all the time as a society. So I would say this notion that financial value is the only thing that we can possibly think about is a very limited way of thinking. And the status quo is always more limited than what's possible.